Hello, welcome back to my channel. This video is it's just gonna be me talking about my coming out story and how that went, because that's one of the most common questions I get asked is, how did you come out? How did you know it was safe to come out? Why did you come out? And just questions like that. So we'll start with, the first time I came out, what I came out as, and who that was to. So, the first time I came out as gay. This was all before coming out as trans. I came out as gay, first to my mom, and it was literally nothing. I grew up in I'm in a very accepting household. I was just in the car. It was after I got picked up from practice, and we're talking about liking people, and I'd never really been one on saying, hey, I have a crush on this person. I'd never really experienced liking people because everyone told me, you have to like guys. And I would tell myself, I like that guy. But I just didn't, and I didn't understand. Since even 3rd grade, people would be like, oh, this person likes this person, oh my god, it's such a big thing. And I just didn't understand. Like, I didn't see the point. I didn't see how the people could find, if the girls could find the guys attractive. Didn't make sense to me. And okay, so we were in the car, and my mom, I don't know what we're talking about exactly, but talking about liking people, and she asked if I liked anyone, and I said yes, because this was the first time in a long time I'd ever actually liked someone. Like, I knew that I liked this person. And she simply said, boy or girl. I hadn't talked about liking people ever, and I think it was probably part of the way I acted, and the people she knew I hung around, that she just kind of assumed if you knew me since birth, it wouldn't be a hard thing to figure out. And I said, girl. It was simple as that. I told her who, and kind of ended the conversation. And the next person I came out to as gay, besides my friend group, I was kind of already out as that. I was out online, and I came out, I believe, next to my brother, and my best friend, who lives in a different state, I moved away from, and my sister, who actually I was the first person I came out to, but I didn't really have to come out to her. I texted them, and I texted them about it, and that was not necessarily a hard thing for me, because I knew that they would be fine with it, and so that was cool. I don't remember what their response was, and I think all they really both did is put rainbows next to my contact users, so that was good. I came out to my dad, which is the only time I actually felt stress about coming out. And everyone asks why people cried when they came out, and I didn't understand either until I came out to my dad. We were in the car. I don't know why I came out in the car all the time. What the hell was this? But sitting there, and I suddenly reached over and muted the radio, as if my body was telling me to do this thing that was on my mind. That's all I could think about. I shut off the radio. I just was like, Dad, I have to tell you something. And I don't know why I did it. I guess I was ready, but I wasn't at the same time. And I just said, Dad, I'm gay. And I started crying. And I don't know why, because it wasn't a big deal. Like, knowing my dad, it was relief that he didn't have to deal with boys. Like, I don't know why I started crying, but it was just like all this stress of the past months of knowing that there was this thing that I had to share that I felt like would affect me greatly. I just broke down. And the good thing about this is that maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, I don't know, we're talking about it again, and my dad said, I really, really wanted to respond with, hi gay, I'm Dad. But you were crying, and I felt like this was such more of an intense moment, so I didn't. And that's just, the fact that that's all he wanted to do is kind of sweet. Kind of like, I would have probably like either laughed while crying or punched him or something. Just been like, oh my god, really? Not the best moment. So that was all about, and the one negative about coming out as gay at that time was that, besides the fact that I wasn't happy, I didn't really vibe the label. I just didn't feel like necessarily it was me, because I wasn't me, but it's that my mom told my stepdad. And, like, I don't mind that, because that does take the pressure off, and I knew that he was fine with it, too. But the problem I had with that is I feel like that wasn't her position. Like, that was my position. It was supposed to be me. Which, I'm kind of over that now, I guess. So, on to coming out as trans. I came out as trans as February, words are fun. I came out as trans in February of 2016, on the 22nd of February. And, again, the first person I came out at the same moment that I fully accepted that this is who I was. I basically accepted myself 2 seconds before I came out. Which is kind of weird to think about. The fact that I was struggling with this thing in my head for so long, like, this is gonna affect me more than the fact that I came out as gay. And I knew that it would be fine, but at the same time I hadn't truly understood that this is who I am. Even though knowing myself that this truly was me. I identified loosely as gender fluid for a few weeks before, and I came out as gender fluid, but also was kind of just like, hey, I'm seeing what this is, like, trying this out. And that's fine. Especially for other people, like, if you try something out, that's totally okay. You don't have to be defined by the first label that you give yourself. So, to my mom, it was right after I told her the night before that I needed to talk to her about something. And I wasn't planning on talking to her about being trans. I wasn't going to talk to her about anything relationship related, LGBT related. That wasn't my motive. My motive was that I was depressed. And that I was worried that if I didn't tell someone that I was going to do something that I was going to either regret or something bad was going to happen to me. And it's not that she was the only person I told. People online knew, my friends knew, I guess, but the people that I told besides those people were, I told my brother and I told my friend, because she came in my room, sat down and was like, what's going on? Like, she wanted to know, she was worried, she wanted to know what was going on. So, I told her. There were a lot of tears, but it was okay. Because she was happy that I told her. And she offered to get me a therapist appointment. I had never seen a therapist before. I also had never even been to, like, a school counselor before. So she got me a therapy appointment the same day, roughly. And that was a really reassuring conversation. And the end of the conversation is where I came out. It was, I don't know what we're talking about, but I said, Mom, I think I'm trans. And I recall her, like, smiling and being happy that I had found and she seemed that she understood immediately. Like, it didn't take any explaining. She knew what it was. And then she told me 2 stories. She told me one that when I was in 1st grade, roughly about that time, we were going to a party of some sort. It was about Easter time, and there was a party. We were going to a family party, and she was helping me put on a dress. And she got me in the dress, and I went over to the mirror, and I started crying, and I said, Mommy, I can't see myself. And so she started crying, and she took that dress off me, and she never put me in a dress again. Because she knew that for a kid this young, to say that they could look in a reflective surface that shows your reflection, that they couldn't see themselves, is just crazy. And she knew that there was something bigger. And unfortunately, at the time, we didn't have the words to understand what it was, reasons that I couldn't see myself. So she never put me in a dress again. And the only other times I was put in a dress was my grandparents or someone, and that was just a thing. So that was one story. And then the other story she told was that she recently read an article where a mom with a kid who came out as a trans guy as well had twins. I'm a twin. And said that when they were in the womb, that she fully believed that she was gonna have a girl and a boy. But she gave birth to 2 girls, I believe. And she was so confused as to why. She didn't understand. She was like, swear to God, it felt like a guy. And then later, her kid came out as trans. But this mom, she accepted, but also was really sad because she felt like she was losing her daughter, which my mom immediately clarified that that's not what it was going to be like. That for her, she knew, and when I was in her room, she knew that she was having a boy and a girl. She felt it. That's why she gave both of us gender-neutral names. And that was just such an interesting thing to hear. It was such a reassuring thing as well, to know that she wasn't feeling like she was going to lose her daughter, that she was just going to have her son. And that was such a great thing. There were a lot of tears in that, and immediately we went on talking about what we're going to do, how we're going to handle this, and that was a great moment. And for this part of coming out, when I came out as gay, I felt like that was something I had to do. I had to come out to each person in my family myself. Like, that was my thing. But for trans, I felt like it was bigger. Because gay is something that is, in most parts of society, being accepted slightly more than trans is, especially right now in the media. As I heard something that it was like, it used to be that they were like, the black man is going to rape your children. Then it was the gay man's going to rape your children. And right now it's the trans people are going to rape your children in the bathroom. Always in the bathroom. Like, it was that thing. And it started transitioning to the trans is going to rape you in the bathroom. Like, that was the big thing. And so I felt like this wasn't something I could do on my own. I couldn't come out to my whole family as, this is what's happening. So my mom was the one who helped me come out to everyone. She made this email and she sent it to people, and we got a lot of great responses. I don't think we got a single negative response. She sent it out to our old neighbors, our old friends, people that we were attached to. It was just this thing, and it was this big thing. And the only people that I came out to separately was, I sort of came out separately to my dad, but he also kind of already got that, I guess, from my mom. I think my mom told him. I came out to my brother and my sister, I believe, separately. And the greatest thing about coming out to my brother was that the only thing I remember is that he said, I finally have a brother. That's just that my whole coming out experience, sorry this is a really long video, my whole coming out experience was so great compared to other ones that I've heard of. And I am so thankful for my family and just my whole environment and how accepting it is. I went from not being able to see if I was going to live to the next day in living in this wrong form, not knowing if I was going to be alive the next year, to this year being out a little over a year now. I'm 8 months on hormones and I'm having top surgery soon. This just is, it's so crazy to think what can be done if you got the right people on your side, the right motives. And I know that I am a lucky one, and I'm going to be using all of my resources, all the positivity around me, to do something greater to help everyone that may not have what I have. Alright, so that was a bit of my coming out story. If you would like to ask questions about that, you can leave them in the comments or message me directly. I'll put my Instagram in the description. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned a little bit more about me. Have a good day. Feel free to subscribe, thumbs up, and comment. Bye. I'd like to add that after coming out as trans and after transitioning, that I identify as asexual and panromantic,